Minister, thank you very much for inviting me. Secretary Marape, former Minister, our senior Michael Malley, I just want to appreciate your presence here. All our contractors, all our staff. Dear Secretary Marape, you make to the heart, Yaka, and those of us up front get the glory, or even get the blame too, so it doesn't matter whichever it is. Sometimes more time blame than the glory, but in any case, that's why we're here. So thank you all the staff. I really appreciate all your presence. And more importantly, let me say up front, thank you for holding the fort and delivering to expectations in as far as 2023 work year is concerned. All the best for 2024, but I would just want to appreciate all your work and effort as we come to the end of one more work year. Thank you very much, all staff of the Department of Works. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all for giving me the invitation to be part of your moment in the close-up of this work year. And I just want to start by making a few remarks on how our country has come in the last 48 years. 1975 we became independent. 1st of December 1973 we gained self-government. Not all has been easy for us up till this point in time. You at Works know exactly the inventory of public infrastructure we've had upon our independence from Australia. Highlands Highway and its state was not really up to scratch. And then you have the Magi Highway as it was then, Iritano Highway as it was then and up till today. I think Ley and Medang was not yet connected, if I'm not wrong. And so Buluminski Highway, because the Germans did a good job, maybe Buluminski Highway was okay. Panguna was there for Arawa into Panguna. You had sketchy roads in and around Bougainville. East and West New Britain was not connected. That was just about it. Tari to Mendi was not connected in 1975. And so we've come from that space. Sometimes Papua New Guineans, we are hard on ourselves. And I just want to say, from that space, in as far as our economy is concerned, in an economy that was below 5 billion kina sized, in a land that is bigger than Japan, bigger than New Zealand, bigger than UK, their size is not bigger than our size. We are measured at 462,840 square kilometers of land. Much, much bigger than UK, Japan, New Zealand, just to give you all some comparison. Diversity of our landscape, terrain, geography, swampy areas, big river areas, mountain tops, islands. And so in that space we've come in the last 48 years, preserving our sanctity as a democratic nation. We have not done too well, we have not done too bad either. We just hang in space. And I want to comment, I saw today I was quite moved by one of our seniors who are receiving this recognition. Let us pay respect to the seniors amongst us. Thank you very much for them holding our country. And in the midst of many of our ups and downs, Works Department has been one of our shining lights for the last 48 years. And so I want to thank all of you, past secretaries and employees, as well as past ministers and present minister. Thank you very much for all your support and the work you have been doing to our country. Let me quote a West World Bank September 23 quotation. It says, smart infrastructure supports inclusive and sustainable growth, expands markets, creates job opportunities, promotes competition, and contributes to a cleaner future. Infrastructure improves life by connecting people to opportunities. Does it sound familiar, the Connect PNG concept? Infrastructure improves lives by connecting people to opportunities. Living a good life is not a privilege for a privileged few. A good life is an entitlement for every human being on the face of planet Earth. Statistics shows that over 1 billion people still lives away from 2 kilometers of road accessibility. Globally speaking, over 1 billion people. Papua New Guinea, I hear Works Minister says 1 million people are still not yet connected to any forms of road or infrastructure whatsoever. 1 million. We will do census next year. We will ascertain exactly how many people still remain away from road connectivity. But whether it's 1 million or 2 million or let alone 100 million, I beg your pardon, 100,000 or 100 people, does not matter. Every citizen of our country is entitled to road accessibility, modern infrastructure accessibility, so that citizen is given a fair go in life. His or her family's opportunity is created by road and enabling infrastructure connectivity. And so that is the reason why we've launched out in Connect PNG. I want to thank Minister Solan for carrying the fort. When the former Minister Michael Nally and Secretary Ware and every one of you decided Connect PNG is the way to go, complementing our government's drive to make our country become economically independent. We are resilient and stronger. Enabling infrastructures carry a strong, diversified economy. Simply put. So I don't mind borrowing to grow infrastructure. For 1 kilometer of road invested in an infrastructure has a return on 4, I beg your pardon, for 1 kina invested in a road infrastructure has a return of 4 kina. You can equate that to dollar, same. The ratio and principle applies the same. This is a statistics I got from your Works Department, not my statistics. It is a correct statistics. And in practical terms, those simple terms, what Papua New Guinea, Bahrain, through the relays that is happening as I speak. Today you drive from Ley to Hagen. It used to take us possibly 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours. Today it takes us 5 hours. So the savings on fuel, the savings on tire, the savings on time, all contributes towards that formula. 1 kina invested, a 4 kina return on the economy. So I do not mind borrowing to throw into growing the economy. But the good news is we are working to reconstruct the economy. We will not be borrowing as the economy grows into the future. The 5.6% we put in by law to support road and Connect PNG will stand to grow as the year increases going forward into the future. Who would have thought in a tough, hard 2023 we would structure a 27 billion kina budget for next year. Work Secretary, you know, last year we budgeted 450 million kina for roads. I was Finance Minister in the previous administration. They would budget high, but they never deliver you full money. Last year we delivered you full money, 450 million kina on the dot and a little bit extra. This year we have budgeted 650. How much this year again? This year? This year? This year or next year? For this year. Next year 800, but this year, how much? 450. We already given you 450 in November. Now you're asking me to give you additional 300 million kina, 200 million kina. We look around for this. And so in tough times, no government before my time, I'm not beating my chest, but it is on record. No government before my time has ever delivered 100% as budgeted to all sectors, including Works Department. So no can koi sibona hadi natin talk like us. Niblo man saulo cutting pig, man saulo making walk niblo start. 2 years ago I flew unannounced to Kantiba. Minister Nali was there, Secretary Wera was there. I called him, what are you guys doing on a Sunday? Gulf Governor, what are you doing? We jump on a helicopter with no announcement. We flew into Kaitiba, surprised people in Kaitiba, they cried, we all cried. I said, road is coming, trust me. 2 years later, road is approaching Kaitiba. It may not be the super highway. Some in Facebook think that it must be built. But since when in 48 years have any government built super highways, let alone leaving my people in Kaitiba isolated forever? Even if it is not a super highway, at least it's a road that can uplift a coffee bag or a person out of remoteness into connectivity with the rest of PNG. And so we are working. I'm here to complement a department that is delivering. I'm here to complement the department that is delivering. And I will keep it short. Last 3 years, we have 300 contracts running, and I just want to thank all the contractors. First and foremost, for you, sometimes funding comes a little bit late, but you are still out there working. Let me step back and say thank you to all the contractors. Don't think we are not hearing, we do not know. We know exactly what you are doing. Thank you to all our faithful contractors. Despite sometimes funding coming a little bit late, you are out there working right throughout the country. Over 300 of you. And I just want to thank all our contractors. Thank you very much. To our overseas contractors, thank you very much for being part of us. Most of you, if not all of you, are engaged, especially in one certain element of contract, and that is the forward contracting, advanced work, and coming at the back, and we pay you at the back. And I want to repeat this one. Most of you, if not all of you, are engaged in this aspect of contracting. We give you a contract, you do the work, and we pay you at the back end. This is another innovative way we put in place, simply because we do not have the luxury of fund available to pay you up front. So we give you forward contract, you do your work, we come back. And I want to thank, especially to this category of contractors. Thank you very much. You know who you are. I just want to thank you. My country will never go broke. If I can grow the economy by 40 billion kina in the last 4 hard years, going 5. The first 7 prime ministers before me grew the economy by 79 billion, 80 billion. Last 4 years, we grew it by 40 billion kina, and I'm counting ahead to 2024. By 2024, economy will be 120 billion kina economy. Today, our economy is 111 billion kina economy. When I took over in 2019, it was a 79. If you want me to go exact, it was a 79.6 billion kina economy. I want to thank all our contractors, especially our foreign contractors. We are working, you are living and working also in a growth economy. Next 10 years, we have 6 major projects lined up that will drive PNG's economy past 200 billion kina economy when we come out of 2029 into 2030. And as the economy increases, size of our budget will also increase. And when the size of our budget increases, the size of the 5.6% earmarked for road funding and infrastructure funding will also increase. Simple mathematics, simple rationale. You don't need to be an economist. I'm not an economist, but I do my maths very well. It's just simple mathematics. But Michael Nally is not an economist, but he does his money counting very well. It's simple. Minister Solar Minister is not an economist, but he counts his money very well. He counts our numbers very well. 1 + 1 = 2. But we're now trying to do 1 + 1 = 3. That's the formula we're trying to in as far as our economy calculation is concerned. So we ramp up growth of our economy within the next 10 years. In that environment, the greater allocation will be for Works Department. And you keep on doing the good work we have started in the last 2 years as we mounted the Connect PNG. I want to conclude by saying Connect PNG runs for 20 years. 20 years time, we must make the biggest impact for our country. We cannot afford to leave Karami behind, Kantiba behind, Mosabi behind, Pomio behind, Kendrick Gloucester behind, the tip of Gasmata behind. I went last year to what's last year? 2022, yeah. Last year to a place called Aguan. Hands up those of you know where Aguan is. Works Manager Southern Region. I want to see you. Do you know where Aguan is? Agaon, not Aguan, Agaon. Where's Works Manager Southern Region? Do you know where Agaon is? Your country, read your map, search it out. Aguan by helicopter, 5 minutes from Raba Station. But by walking, takes 1.5 days. People fall off the cliff. I arrived there, they cried. Mr. Prime Minister, we are happy you are here. And I said, I am sad I cannot give you an answer right away, but we'll get to work. People are still locked in enclaves of isolation. And you and me have the comfort of having dinner like this. Sometimes I feel guilty not to have dinner like this because it's just sad. And you and me are eating. And our peers, our kinsmen, our kinswomen, our blood are still in isolated areas. But the good news is Works Department, you can have moment like this simply because you are working. And you know, we must reward those who are working. The next 20 years, we all must work. If we all work consistently the next 20 years, our country would have reached, in my view, Trasra Yenling Sake says, a trillion kina economy. I want to be modest. We could have gone past a 500 billion kina economy. Because road carries the economy. Road carries the economy. These are part of the legacies we're trying to clean up. Last 2 years, my government passed over 300 million kina to state enterprises to clean up this sort of mess. Of that, we've passed over 150 million kina to just PNG power alone to clean up a mess. So I'm just telling you all, we're not resting, we're working. James Marape may be from Tari, and you people come Tari as the Kanaka Nova Tintin, but I tell you, we're working. We're working. And so I just want to ask all of you, stay the course. Stay the course. Next 20 years, Connect PNG must be driven. Don't worry about someone else from some other place coming to take away your land. You only have to ask the Butima people in Ley, Morobe. Has Civics and Highlanders taken over Ley City? No, they have not taken over Ley City. Road opens up your place, your country, and everybody else in our country. Connect PNG must be supported on, because at the backdrop of road infrastructure, bridge, power pylon will run, power runs, internet runs, the jetties and airports complement, and these are necessary impetus to carry and sustain our economy. Now, let me conclude with the story of South Korea. South Korea was benchmarked as amongst the poorest nation on planet Earth in 1953. South Korea, Somalia, and without naming other nations, they were benchmarked as amongst the poorest nation in 1953. China was also rated amongst those nations in the 1950s. But just for want of reference, I reference South Korea. 1953, the GDP per capita was $67. $67. I bring your mind to 1973. 1973, there were $407 GDP per capita in as far as the economy was concerned. Guess what Papua New Guinea was in 1973? It became self-government in December 1st. Papua New Guinea's GDP per capita was $486. We were, what's 407 minus 486 minus 407. Quick mathematics. 79. We were $79 richer than them per person on average. That's 1973. Today, 50 years on, at 2023, they see that $33,147 per capita in a $101.7 trillion economy, and we are $2,508 per capita in our economy. In the same 50 years from 1973, we were $79 ahead of every citizen in South Korea. Today they are $33,147 per capita, and we are at only 2,508. What have we done in the last 50 years, ladies and gentlemen? Have we been thinking about ourselves and our country lost? Have we been at workplace not putting our country first and think about what else we can take home apart from our income? Have we been playing so much politics, all jostling to be secretary, all jostling to be minister, all jostling to be prime minister, all jostling to be deputy secretaries? Today you go to South Korea, they have a very nice culture that is going. When the elders walk into a room, the younger ones stand up and they vacate the seat. When the elders walk into a bus, the younger ones stand up and they vacate the seat, let the elder ones sit. The rationale is simple. The younger ones say thank you to the generation ahead of them and welcome. And I just want all of you to ponder today. Look deep in your own hearts. Don't expect miracles. Don't expect angels to come down from heaven to do miracles. You were already born and birthed in your country to be the agents of change forever. You know, the South Korean story is even more mind-boggling. Their ministers, their politicians, their department heads are paid less than Papua New Guinea ministers, politicians, and department heads. Something blossoming, a big economy holds him less money than you make him more money. Now you may work on it. You are the department you work now. I'm here to charge you to work more and ask less. There's only one who can be secretary. He's already secretary. There's only one who can be minister. He's already minister. But Prime Minister Singh is not my birthright, or someone else can take it. I just pray that a better person than me take this so that the country gets better than what I'm doing. But all of us have work to do for our country. As you take a plate of food, and most of you will take a very big plate of food, because I see food is surplus here. Please don't forget my citizens who have less to eat in this country. I've traveled the world, but I've also traveled my country. I've slept in more part of our country than all the 7 prime ministers before me put together. Because me and Mangilo blessed Mr. Prime Minister. I lived and born and grew up in these whole areas. That's the reason why I'm punching road into Telephone and into Kaitiba. We're asking you to do a better design on Karaway. Let's do it ASAP. Bundi, Simbai, Pomio. They too must see the light. They too must be out there. Wasabi. Welala, Aguan, Okela. And so I ask all of you as we work today and ponder on the close of 2023. Contractors, especially Papua New contractors, lift up your game. Take your 10%, 15%, 20%, don't ask more. 80% put to use for your country. One day you'll be retired into this country you will wake up. Carry your country in your heart. Your work is much bigger, better than the Kumuls playing on Sunday. Kumuls is just playing for fun and waste. Your job has more transformation to our country than a Kumul. To our foreign contractors, I will not take your lazy response to no sub-engaging of local contractors as part of your work. 40%, 50%, engage local contractors. You don't engage, get out. Simple. Simple. Engage my local contractors, incubate them. Especially if it is 100% PNG government finance contract, incubate local contractors, subcontractors. Because I will not come to your country to get contract to anything. Simple mathematics. Simple mathematics. And I say this with the love of all of you who work for my country. Especially international contractors who do quality job. We know you and we value you, but please incubate local contractors. Last Christmas I was driving down from Kikori to Medang for the first time. I drove myself from Kikori to Medang. I wanted to say thank you to the 3 contractors or 4 contractors from Hagen to Waterrise. I saw many girls, Papua New girls on the road waiting. Thank you very much, whoever you are. I saw many Papuans working, and for those who criticize my government, Connect PNG has employed over 30,000 Papua New Guineans in the last 4 years. You do your mathematics simple. If the 300 contractors are employing minimum 100 each, that's 30,000 people working right throughout the country. And not just in Port Moresby, but right throughout the country, contractors engaged working there. So I want all contractors, overseas contractor, local contractor, incubate junior contractors in your place. Grow them up. And subcontract where you can subcontract when you graduate to become EPCs. You graduate to become big contractors. Because the next, what's 2023 now? Next 17 years to 2040, we will be building, building, and building. Open up this country like never before. I want to catch up to being a developed state within the next 17 years, and road, ports, jetties, power line, internet, airport will carry this economy. And for those who are already in the construction space, be good contractors. We are watching too. Some of your national contractors are not doing well. Don't complain when we terminate your contracts. Because you are given transit now, deliver to our countries and our people's expectation. So I want to commend all the good work that you are doing. Let's work so that when we too retire in 20 years' time, the generation that is coming after us is able to vacate their seats and give respect to us, because we have truly transformed our country. I want you to write 2023 as a year in which you recommit yourself. Whether you're a contractor, and especially Papua New contractors, whether you work in the department, and me and the minister too, will recommit ourselves. And we all can work better for our country. I want to conclude. South Korea is not bigger than Western Province. Western Province is 98,000 square kilometers of land. South Korea is 100,000 square kilometers of land. They have no gold, like Oak Teddy. They got no fertile river system. They got no forestry. Yet they were able to transform in 70 years. We are approaching our 70th when our nation, when Connect PNG faces closes out 17 years from today. I want to ask all of us, let's work to build our country bigger, better, so that our country too can be developed. God bless you.